Hey, what's up, Tom? I figured I would make a video just in case you were itching to get started on creating some tests on Illuminate so you didn't have to wait too long. So, what you want to do is you want to log on Illuminate. It's right here. Here's the address. And then you click on View Assessments. I should say, if you haven't logged on Illuminate, let me log on for you because there is a little bit of a thing you got to do in the beginning. Okay, so you want to sign in via SSAML right here. Okay, don't sign in here. For some reason, that never works for me. So sign in there, and then do your district username and password. Now it wants to lag. Hold on, let me. Sometimes it takes a little bit. I don't know what's going on with the servers. Okay. In that case, I guess it already stored my username and password. Okay. Now click on assessments. Click create assessment. Go to flexible. Okay. Now I'm going to call this Tom's Tom's tests. Okay. Click create, and let's say it's a 15 question test. Okay. So you click add, and then you can add more, add another, add another. So it's that lightning bolt that I just clicked. Okay, let's say it's 15 questions. Okay. So I added those. Now let's say it's only choice A to D. Okay, so there's no choice E. Okay, so A, B, C, D. Okay, click this down arrow, change it all to A, B, C, D. Okay. And here, let me just finish off the whole thing. I should have just done it for the first couple, but I'm already too deep into it now. And you can, so here's basically your answer key, or this is where you enter in answers for your answer key. So let's pretend it's, I'm just going to go A's all the way down the list. Okay, click that, click, 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 click. And there you go. Okay, so that's your key. Okay, and so let's say you have what I'm assuming is that you have a PDF. Okay, so I'm gonna upload my PDF. Here we go. Where's one of mine located? Over here. And let's pretend it is this one right here. So I'm gonna drag this in. I should say, if you are creating a test through the item bank in a test generator, you want to be sure that the PDF does not contain the key, because I mistakenly imported the PDF with the key and then uploaded that to Illuminate. So the students had access to all the answers, which was a really, really poor oversight on my part. Okay, so I went ahead and labeled this NK for no key because I want to be sure that whatever I uploaded had no key. Okay, so whoops. What just happened there? Let's see, hang on. So upload material. Oh, I know what I did. And you drag that in. God, I hate it when Windows does that. So I'm going to drag this in. There you go. And close this. And then click Done. Okay. And and then click Administer and go Online Testing. And there are a couple options to use over here. I like to use this one. This is the only one that I use, Test with Quick Code. Okay. And once you click that, this appears. Okay. And this is the access code here. And you literally copy and paste this link, okay, and put it in you can put it on your website, or I put it in my Google Classroom. And so students just basically go to this link and enter in their sandy.net username and password, okay? And anyone who has this link can access your tests, okay? So you would probably say something like, okay, AP Stats students, click this link for the AP Stats tests. What's another class? Honors Pre-Calc students, you click this link to take the tests. Okay, and I'll get to talking about versions in a little bit. Okay, because different versions, you got to create different tests, which means there's going to be different links. I'll get to that in a little bit if that's a little confusing. So we're almost done, believe it or not. Click Edit. Okay, and let's say that you want to. This is where you mess around with the testing window start and end. Okay, so let's say you want to start it next week at, let's say you want to start next, I think you said Thursday, so that'll be the 4th. Okay, so you move that click that to the 4th also. Let's say you want to do from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Okay. Click Administration Settings. I just leave it, even though this says all day, it's, from what I know, it's going to be restricted to this time. Okay, so you can just leave it as all day. You can test it out if you want. You can always log in to that link that I showed, the link that you're going to copy and paste on your website. You can log into that and, go on PowerSchool and find a student's username and ID, username and password, and test it out outside these windows to make sure that it doesn't work outside these windows. And likewise, you can also test it within those windows. Okay. So let's go ahead and do this while we're at it. Let's see if I have time to do this, or if I think I'll have time to do this, to show you this right now. So today is Wednesday. Let's test it out right now. Today is Wednesday, the 27th. Okay, and let's test it out right now. Right now, last I checked my clock, it was 1, and I know it's not 4 yet. Okay, and let's go ahead and test that out. And tool setting, you can you have all these options. Okay, calculator basic, calculator scientific, you can enable that. Graphing calculator, you can disable that. Now, of course, the students can always cheat, and if you disable this here, they can use an actual graphing calculator. That's always an issue. And this is for after the test. So let's say you're done testing, okay, and maybe a couple days later you want to reveal the key, okay, the answer key and what they got wrong. In relation to the answer key, you click yes, yes, and then afterwards they log into using the same link. They're using their standy.net username and password, and the key and what they got wrong in relation to the key will be revealed to them. And you can you can enable what time frame that's going to be. Okay, I like to do it for around 2 hours, something like that. Okay, so I'm going to click save, and there you go. Okay, so now it's saved. This should work. This should work within this time frame here. So I'm going to go. I'm going to click this link here. And by the way, you can preview the tests. Okay. And begin tests. And this is how the test will look like. Okay. So now You can, you can just go on Power School and, where you take attendance, and I think it's under the print icon, and there's like a student, you can go special program roster, and it'll show you the username password for something like that. I forgot exactly where it's at, but there's a place where you can find the username and password for each student. Just pick a random student just to test it out, just to make sure that it truly works within the time frame make sure that you're familiar with how the time setting works. Um, because there was a situation in the past where even though this was correct, even though this was correct, it still was not open. It still was either the test was open outside this time zone, or the test was not open within this time zone. It was one of those two scenarios. I forgot which one I experienced. And then you have to play around with, and then you just got to play around with this daily window or all day. It's one of these. I'm pretty sure it's all day though. Even though, like I said, even though this is all day, as long as you restrict the window with this setting, you don't have to worry that it's going to be on all day. And that pretty much wraps it up, Tom. One thing I was going to say was that if you want to create different versions, it's kind of a pain in the butt. And I call them to pick their brain. And the best solution is to create another assessment from scratch. And then I would call this Tom's Test version B or something like that. So unfortunately, that's the only way to do it. As far as I know, and they said that they were coming out with a beta version where you don't have to do what I'm telling you right now. But as far as I know, you still have to. This is the best and most reliable way. What I was going to say one more thing. The way I do keys, the way I do versions is I have students who are, whatever the median percentage of the class is. So maybe it's 85 or 86%, something like that. I say everyone who is 86% and above, click this version, click this link for this version, and anyone who is 85% and below, click this link for that version. The reason I do that is because the worst case quote unquote nightmare scenario is when an F student cheats from an A student. This is somewhat of a preventative method. It prevents that because because then it groups students from F to C, and then it groups students from low B's to high A's, whatever the cutoff is for your median. And so worst case scenario, the F student cheats from the low C student, and likewise the low B student cheats from the high A student, rather than the whole range of the F student cheating from the A student. So I do it like that. Feel free to use whatever cutoff or method you want in order to create versions. Again, I feel like it's still hard to prevent cheating. This is not a fail safe way, and yeah. So let's see. I want to see if there's anything else that I want to show you. I think that about wraps it up. And here is the here. Whoops. How do I close this? I'm gonna call this Tom's. Okay. So again, Tom, you're totally welcome to reach out to me anytime. I'm going to be done with my move around Friday, so after Friday would be the best time to reach me. But again, I'll make time for you, man. Just reach out to me anytime if you need help. Their helpline, which is right here, is also really, really good too. I think that you got to press option 1 and then 1 in order to get to the appropriate person. But yeah, so like I said, I believe they have a pretty dedicated helpline to just San Diego Unified. But they've been super helpful too. But like I said, I can be your first line of defense. Just feel free to reach out to me anytime. All right, Tom, I think that's about it. Maybe there's a couple things I left out, but I want to keep this video from getting longer than it already is. Thanks for tuning in.